Well, today we have a special guest that we'd like you to definitely talk to, and he's been on this episode before. It's Executive Director of Maryland NORML, Luke Jones.
How you doing, Stephen?
Great, Luke.
See you, Max.
How you doing, Luke? Luke, I mean, I want to just remind the audience, Luke has 30 years advising the government, environmental and public affairs. Luke is our favorite guest to come here with a legislative update.
Yeah, and the last episode you're on, I think it was it 47? It was just before or at the early stage of this legislative, sometime in January.
That's right.
So tell us what's happened in Maryland over this last session.
Well, I'm going to chalk it up to a really successful session. I think that what happened was, and I mentioned this on the show, going into it, we realized that there was a chance that we wouldn't get the bill through the process, even if we had started at the beginning with a solid majority support. There was only so much legislative work they were going to get to. So we always knew that there was a chance that we wouldn't get the bill through, and that's actually what happened. So on that front, it's a bit of a disappointment because we would have liked to have seen the.
Now, the bill you were looking to push through. Can you give us a little update on that? Like, what was this bill? What was in it?
Well, we had, and I mentioned this, I think, on the show. We had two bills, one in the House, and that was House Bill 32. And that was the one that we were really promoting. It had a lot of the policy goals that our organization and a lot of other organizations really are pushing for, including, market access for small business owners that want to try and have a go of it in an otherwise legal business enterprise, right? So there was an issue of market access and, promoters of liberty and promoters of family-owned and operated, businesses, and the right to have a chance to fail, because not everybody can succeed in business. But that's one school of thought. Another school of thought is establishing by law, limitations on the number of people who can participate in an otherwise, legal industry. And that was the philosophy that was more reflected on the Senate bill. So we supported the bill in both chambers. In the Senate, of course, we supported with amendments, those amendments being focused on, market access for, a broader range of producers. But other than that, the point I wanted to make is that I think that at the end of the day, we came out of the session with a really solid framework for what the state's, adult use market system is going to be like. I'm still reeling on New York City and New York moving forward the way that they have, and the domino has obviously fallen, and so I think I predicted on your show last time that we might be seeing an adult use legalization, federal change to the Controlled Substances Act during the current Senate and House Congress federally. And I think that based on what happened in New York and the statements by Chuck Schumer over the weekend here in New York is signal to everybody that I think we're going to see federal action pretty quickly.
And so, Luke, you're the executive director of the Maryland, I guess, branch of NORML. So for those of you who don't know, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. What's next for Maryland NORML and for you?
Well, thank you for that question. I'm going to be sort of ratcheting down my own personal involvement in this issue. Thank goodness, because the issues that I'm primarily concerned about are going to be soon in our rearview mirror in terms of ending the criminal penalties associated with adults who are, involved in cannabis consumption. So I think we're very close to achieving, those particular goals. But as a state chapter, really the next step is going to be at the county level, not so much in Annapolis, because after the next legislative session, which is going to be January, February, March of next year, they will pass an adult use bill, and so after that, the real focus is going to be at the county level, because there are going to have to be local jurisdictional business permitting standards for people who are interested in either growing in their home, to make sure they're compliant with local standards, and also people who might be want to be producing for income purposes, to be able to do so within the confines of law. And that's going to, as we saw in California, after Prop 64 passed at the state level, it took some time, right? And it's still taking time for the local jurisdictions to put the standards in place for a commercial market. So that's really what's going to be next for Maryland. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens with interstate commerce, and how long it takes for that to come on board. But we're still several years away from that.
Well, thanks, Luke, man. We appreciate you coming in for the update today. And thank you for all your hard work, man. It means a lot to us.